Webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Wonderful Wednesday, Dennis says. Yes. Agreed. It's 68 degrees and sunny here in Utah. It's not bad for late June. By 1st of July, it'll be 103. Swelteringly hot. Hi, okay. Good to see you. Hope the weather's nice where you are. Hope everybody enjoyed their long weekend. We're 2 days into the week. I would say things are moving somewhat as expected. On Friday, I was feeling like things were starting to look a bit overbought. We had already gotten 5-6 days of movement in a row. Great time to take profits. And me being increasingly bullish means I'm able to let things go 6 or 7 days instead of only maybe 4. And so I think that is favorable. Hi, okay, good to see you. Not 120 like in is it 120 in Texas? Is it hot down there? In Maine in the mid 60s. Love it. Good afternoon, Koo. Good to see you. Welcome out, everyone, to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options closing bell. I am Scott. I'm the head trading coach here at Tradespoon. I will be your host. I've been trading for a while. I've been teaching for a while. These are our disclosures. Be careful out there. Have a plan. Stick to your rules. Remember that we're not investment advisors. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Our numbers are, I would think sometimes I get it. Sometimes the numbers dwindle because the market's choppy and it's frustrating. There's some vol. But that's not this market. This market looks pretty good, in fact. Good afternoon, Fred. Good to see you. I would think people are trading. And trading well, making some money. I didn't see this. Did you see this? Amazon duped millions into enrolling in Prime, the FTC alleges. I feel duped. I want my enrollment fee back. That makes sense to me. I love Prime, to be honest. Powell expects more rate hikes. Says community banks may be spared from tougher rules. So you can see addressing the concerns of what increased rates on a fragile banking environment would do, right? Right now, there's probably 12 to 15 banks that are just teetering on the edge, who are wiping sweat from their brow as the Fed left rates unchanged, scared that even that last quarter point could push them over the edge and potentially into insolvency and into a collapse, which it sounds like they may. I don't know what the rules are and who's enforcing them, but if community banks don't have to worry about those tougher rates, they may be okay, or those tougher rules, they may be okay. But unless we see a month of pretty strong dissipation of the inflationary pressures to where they'll say, hey, you know what? We can actually let it go another month. They clearly are looking to give it one more nudge, maybe two. To just make sure that it has the momentum it needs to get on back down to 2%. Okay, we'll see what happens. Wall Street's new consensus AI will drive the market higher. Okay, well, I don't know if it's AI necessarily. I mean, certainly I'm watching some AI stocks. Powell's testimony, Senate moves closer to clawback of exec pay, yada, yada. Not a lot of news, a lot of anecdotes. Spotify upgraded on margin optimism. I don't know about any of the rest of these. I don't see any other news. Let's talk about news. Let's go to the economic calendar. Nothing Monday, obviously. Market closed. Tuesday. No, that's next week. I guess we did have a home builder confidence index up a little bit. Of course, looks great for the home builders. The inventories are low from private sellers. Therefore, what needs to happen to accommodate the demand of buyers? Well, if we don't have them available on inventory, then we got to build them. And that's what the home builders have been doing. So if you look at DR Horton, if you look at Pulte Homes, a lot of strength there, strength in the charts. Even though interest rates are higher, but yeah, a lot of people were worried about the real estate market. Thought things might be going the wrong way. However, I would say real estate's been fine. Looks like it's going to keep being fine. Okay. Today, Powell testified. Not much happened from it. Tomorrow, we have jobless claims. We have Powell testifying before the Senate. Friday, not much. Just a couple of regional chair people. Next week, not much until we get to Friday. Very minimal amounts of information until Friday. And then at Friday, we have some income, spending, PCE numbers, consumer sentiment numbers. At that point, we do have a little bit more to be paying attention to and to be aware of. Okay. Let's see how the model sees it. So I am increasingly bullish. I'm bullish on the market and increasingly bullish based on my market posture. The model agrees. The model's bullish. Small pullback, small consolidation, looking to bounce up out of it. I agree. I'm looking for the same thing. That's what I'm looking for on my symbols, on my trade alerts, or my number, my watch list. Bullish on the SPY. Let's take a look at the QQQ. Ah, wow. Now, to be fair, even through here, the model was looking for this thing to pull back, but it didn't. It went higher. Okay. Some reluctance with the NASDAQ from the model. Here's the Dow. I would think the Dow actually looks pretty good. And it does pretty good. And here's the Russell, same thing. I would expect the Russell to look pretty good as well. And once again, indeed, it does. Looks pretty good there as well. So, yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. All right. All right. What is the model, or what does the seasonal look like? Typically, the latter half of June is a consolidation. That would actually make a lot of sense based on the fact here it tends to go up and sideways, but here we just went straight up. Now what? Now we're thinking it may consolidate back down into late June, early July. Come on, let me draw a straight line. Anywhere through here. And what tends to happen from here? We tend to go up. So do I think we may have the same possibility? Then maybe we see some sideways action, pull back, and then a bullish end of the year. Oh yes, I'm in here for it. I would love it. That absolutely would make sense to me, based on what we see out of the market and what we've seen from companies as they navigate the current economic conditions. That's the seasonal chart. Here's today's heat map. Tesla finally pulling back. Looks like there's going to be some setups through our technology, communication services, even maybe consumer cyclical. I want to set up on Amazon. I want to set up on Meta. Maybe NVIDIA. MU maybe. Okay. The red is not concerning to me. The red is actually indicative of opportunity. So let's take a look at the live. Here is the S&P. What are my concerns? None. None. That pullback is quite, for me, quite excellent. Why? This pullback here, because A, it's coming with diminished volume. First day, it's like, oh, there's a dark cloud cover with some volume. We're a little nervous. Second day, a little lower volume dropped significantly. Volume went from 114 million to 76 million. That's about a 40% drop. We've got 43 minutes left, but it looks like we're going to move from 86 million down to, I don't know, 60 million maybe. It's not a lot, right? It is definitely not a lot of volume. Yeah, so we have that. The pullback, I would be okay with this pulling all the way back to, I would say, here, 430. Let's see. Gets crazy when Pal is speaking. It can. It most definitely can. Okay, let's get into the watch list. Let's get into the watch list. So Apple is not yet, but it's also pretty close. Oh, quiz. You're right. Goodness. Goodness. I need to do the quiz. We can't not have a quiz. That's madness. That is madness. I can't have that type of anarchy in my webinars. Okay. Okay, we're gonna focus on this last little area. I'm not gonna meet. I need a checklist. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. There it is. A's, it's got to break to the high for the day. B, it's going to settle somewhere near the high. C, it's going to fall back down. A, B, C, those are your choices. Those are your choices. What are the numbers? Let's see. 436.70 by 436. 436 or below, you're a C. 436 to 436.70, you're a B. Anything above 436.70, you would be a B. Let's see what the model is. Dennis is a B. LK is an A. I believe it's Mark is a B. Let me... Ku is a C. All right. All right. Let me get to the SPY here. Fred is joining. Okay. Stella says that at 2 p.m. we're going to be at 435.39. 435.39. I believe that makes Stella a C. I am going to go with the B's. With the B's. All right. Anyone else want to weigh in before we shut it down? It's worth a fancy gold medal. Cool. Well, let's move on. All right. Let's get cracking here. On to the watch list. This time for real. Right? This time for real. Okay. Apple. Apple is... I mean, it could be close. It could be a couple more days. At this point, something like Apple, you really have to be ready to go pretty quickly. Right? I mean, it may not be much of a consolidation at this point. So, yeah, Apple's on my short list, without a doubt. Okay, what else? AI. It's sold off with big candles, but it hasn't been with big volume. I like AI. I like AMAT. All three of these so far, strong stocks. They look good. They look like setups. Right? They look like setups. Okay, let's keep looking. Now, AMD. I was looking at this one. I think we looked at it Friday. I've been looking at it and I said, as long as it doesn't, what? As long as it doesn't break the old lows, well, guess what? It did. It broke those lows and it did it with increasing volume. You can see the volume was diminishing. Bing, all of a sudden it's back up. And as of right now, we're at 71 out of 80 million, but we've still got 30 minutes, I bet it's going to be above average. 10%, 15, maybe around 90 million shares-ish. But this is not, right? At this point for me, unless I was hurting for signals from this area, but I'm not. This is chips. I've got AMAT. I've got NVDA. I've got TSM. I've got Marvell. I've got Micron, Joseph says. Absolutely. We'll take a look at it when we get to that alphabetically, and we'll see how it looks. For now, we'll just keep going, see where we end up. Okay. Amazon. Amazon looks great. What are the off the island? Yes, AMD's gone. What are the three sectors that I think are the strongest right now? Number one, technology. Number two, communication services. Number three, consumer discretionary. Number four, now joining the mix, industrials. Right? Industrials. Okay. So, Amazon looks good. ASAN, this is software. Software looks good. I like ASAN. ATVI, if you're into that, this was an acquisition target by Microsoft, but still looks pretty good. BLDR, actually BLDR really gave a signal early yesterday and is continuing to move, and it looks good. That's industrials. As I said, industrials is relatively new to the mix. CPRT, also industrials. I was getting a little impatient with this one, but it just kind of keeps on grinding itself higher. Looks okay. It's moving. CRM, software. So this one for me, I think I'm about to kick off the island as well. I forgot to kick AMD off. Now it's off. CRM. Why CRM? Because look at it. It's mostly just grinding now. We had one little pop above, and then the earnings squashed that real quickly. It's just not much there. So I'm not hurting for software stocks. I'm going to get rid of it. CrowdStrike. Ooh, same thing. What do I not like? I don't like the fact that it's breaking down and the volume is ticking back up. I'm going to give this one more day, but for the most part, yeah, I think it's going to be kicked off the island. Cisco looks great, right? Cisco looks absolutely fantastic. A little bit of a cup and handle, but that's a bullish pattern. So I would say that Cisco looks quite strong as it stands. Okay. Let's keep going through the list. Diamonds. The Dow looks strong. DKNG. DKNG, DraftKings is one we've looked at. Not only does it look strong, but this looks like it's in a buyable position. Looks very similar to like it did here. Or very similar to like it did here. Or here. Or here. Look how similar all of these signals are. What happened after them? Up, 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 up. What am I looking for? Maybe 28? DraftKings looks pretty strong for me. Flex, overbought. That one does not look good to me right now. Right? That one definitely does not look very good right now. I mean, overall, it looks good. Right? Overall, it looks good. But as of right now, I would say that it looks a little bit like a grinder and a little bit overbought. Gold still kind of grinding down, nothing there. IBM, I love it. IBM is giving us a chance to come back in, give us an opportunity to get into the trade. Okay. IWM. If you've been wanting to trade small caps, I think our chance is coming up at this point. It's definitely starting to look pretty good. Okay, let's keep going. Jets, not yet. I think it still needs to pull back. Okay. Meta, not yet, but it's getting close. Right? Needs just a little bit of a pullback. Monster, I think Monster actually is looking pretty good at this point. Yeah, definitely think Monster has some prospects to it. Okay. What else? Marvell. Marvell, as long as it what? As long as it doesn't break support. If it stabilizes and turns, and this turns, we have something. If it keeps going down, unfortunately, then we're back to a no. Right? Then it's back to a no. Okay, let's keep going. Microsoft, love it. Oh, I love Microsoft. Microsoft looks so very strong the way it looks right now. It's definitely one that I've traded a couple of times. I'm looking for another trade. I think it looks great. This is definitely one that I'm interested in. Okay, what else? What else? Oh, yes, Microsoft. Netflix. Netflix is setting up. If anyone's interested, it's kind of an expensive stock, but still very very lucrative looking with the amount of momentum that it has. Certainly one that I'm interested in. We have plenty to choose from. Nvidia hasn't even pulled back yet. Right? Nvidia hasn't even pulled back yet. Okay. What else? So I have a text here. Let's see. How do we know when to let go of a stock on what time frame? Whatever time frame you entered on. Right? Whatever time frame you entered on. That's going to be important for us to exit along those same parameters. Does that make sense? We definitely want the same parameters. Whatever we thought was going to be our whatever we thought was going to be our time frame, we want to adhere to that time frame. I love NVIDIA, but NVIDIA needs more of a pullback. I mean, we've got such a broad range, right? Apple, AMAT, Amazon, DKNG, IBM, IWM, Meta, Monster, Microsoft, Netflix. And then we have others that aren't quite set up yet, but still looks good, right? Even though it's not, even though they're not triggering, we have a whole second set of trades that are starting to pull back. Oracle is a bit parabolic, meaning look how fast it shot up from 105 to 125. I mean, that was fast. However, look at it. It's pulling back. The volume is dropping. It may have one more parabolic run before it runs out of steam. I'm thinking about it. Oracle's on the list. PHM. Pulte Homes. We know that home builders are doing fairly well right now, but there's no trade here for me. I want to see a setup. I want to see a trigger. PLTR. This is one that Vlad likes and has made some money on. You can see it's pulling back again, setting up for another bite at the apple, I would say. Let's see what the model thinks about just some of these out of curiosity. Microsoft. Yes, likes Microsoft. Let's see about AMAT. Apple. Yes. DKNG. Ooh, Stella doesn't like it that much. I do. I do. Netflix. Yeah, very strong there. So mostly in agreement, right? Mostly in agreement. There might be a few one-offs, but overall, which is why I'm surprised, because with Apple looking bullish, NVIDIA looking bullish, AMAT looking bullish, Microsoft, Meta, I'm surprised QQQ is looking not bullish, right? I don't know what the model's picking up on. Obviously, it's picking up on something, but I'm not sure what. I don't think it has, a lot of validity as far as that goes. But okay, right? Okay. Oh, look how strong Oracle looks. Agreed with Oracle. I mean, here's the cues. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing what the model's seeing. Weigh in on it for me. Tell me how you're feeling. Are you bullish? Are you neutral? Are you bearish? How have you been trading? How is trading going? It's quiet out there. I want to make sure everybody has their afternoon coffee and is still awake. But tell me how trading has been. How are you seeing it? How comfortable are you staying in front of the market, etc.? Let's see. Royal Caribbean. Overextended. Nothing there yet. SMCI. Never a dull moment, Randall says. Amen. I'm iffy on this one. It's right at this old level. Makes me a bit concerned that maybe a Head and Shoulders is setting up here, and it might not get through even this level. And then all of a sudden, if it breaks this neckline, if it breaks the neckline, I think it's filling the gap at that point. Still some anxiety, but better. Love it. Love it. I appreciate you sharing. SPY. Again, I mean, if that's all you showed me, I'd be like, oh, that looks nice. The volume's dropping on the sell-off. I would think this thing has a good chance of accelerating again. But at the same time, we could pull back to 430 and I'd still like it. I'd still say, yep, this looks good. Right? I would still end up doing that. Okay, let's keep going. SYK. Nothing there. This one is getting close as well. I don't like to see lower highs. I don't like to see this. The volume is not great, but it doesn't have much for a trend. Because we have plenty of software and this is relatively new, I'm actually going to bounce it. There's no need. Here's Tesla. Tesla, look at that tweezer hold. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I mean, I think this could pull back to 220 and I'd still think about it to the upside. We'll see. Taiwan Semiconductor, I like how it looks. Still, I'm thinking as long as it can stabilize soon, I might have myself something like this. That puts me up here between 112, maybe 114, depending on some things. But yeah, keep an eye on that. Let's see. Here is the VIX. The VIX looks so very good still. Anytime we've seen anything that looked like a bit of a sell-off by the market, and then I look at the VIX, I'm like, oh, well, the VIX doesn't confirm that. There has been no VIX confirmation of selling at all. And now look at us. We got down to 13.1. Again, we continue to get to the lowest point since the pandemic. Good to see you, Fred. I'll see you Friday. Yeah. I got to tell you this. We may on Friday look at a calendar spread, especially if we get 1 or 2 more days. We are very close to touching in the 12s. That is very low. It's very good. I'm very excited about it. W, this is one that I liked. It got a little bit of move, and now it's kind of running out of steam. Not much there. Energy, still down. Financials, okay. Industrials, better. Staples looks okay. Utilities, no good. Consumer discretionary looks pretty strong. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at, do we have some time? Let's take a look at DKNG. What about Micron? Let me take a look. Let's take a look at Micron. Yes, I like Micron. As long as it stays above 65. If it stays above 65, now here's the other thing I want you to think about. You don't have much time left. Are we coming up on earnings season? This is on, when is this? 6/28. That's 1 week from today after market. Am I losing track of time? No. That's a one-off. We're not going to see earnings till late next month. Okay, sorry. I just all of a sudden I was like, wait, it can't be earnings again already, can it? And the answer is no. Okay. DraftKings. What do we know about DraftKings? The implied volatility overall is a bit high, but relative to itself, it's actually quite low. But there would still be so I think you could buy the option, or you could end up doing a spread trade. I think either one is viable. You can see it's off the highs a little bit, but still I would say still a valid signal. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Let me bring up the options. Whoops, if I could. Analyze. This is DKNG. Okay, let's see. Let's start with the singles. Let's just go to the Julys. That's about 30 days. Let's see. '26s is probably where I would go. Maybe the 25s. Actually, the 25s right at the money. Let's take a look. If I were to establish a price target here, I would say 23 to 20. That was about 3 points, 3.5. 27.75. Let's be a little ambitious. 27.75. Okay. To the downside. Do we have a Heiken-Ashi yet? Maybe not quite. I'd go right below here. 24.10. 24. Whoops. Where am I going? 24.10. Let's go out. Today's Wednesday. We got to go a week. We'll go out a week. I'm still getting 3 to 1. Let's lower the number of contracts. 4 contracts, 225 of risk, 700 of gain. Yeah. I mean, this is looking pretty good. Any questions? Any concerns that anyone sees as of right now? Okay, let me know. Nothing? It's quiet out there today. I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah. Everyone feeling all right today? Looks good, LK says. Okay. Fair enough. Let me see what these are trading for as we speak. And we may look to go ahead and pull the trigger. Trading, let me see. July 21s. I'm showing a buck, maybe 35. Let's see if we can get that. All right. We got the $1.35. We have 2 days. $1.33. Well done, LK. Well done. Somewhere in that vein. Here's what I'm going to say. We don't have any news, in my opinion, that can disrupt, unless it's some crazy news, unexpected. Let me go back to this. This is important for me. Next Friday, we have income, spending, and PCE numbers, which are inflationary, plus consumer sentiment. To me, that's a big one, right? That's a big one. That's going to be one that I think could then move the market one way or the other. But until then, I believe that whatever the market's been doing is what it's going to keep doing. For me, what has it been doing? It's been bullish, and it's been increasingly bullish. Since we had just a little hiccup around the second week of May, I've seen nothing but improving signs. So for me right now, I think, yeah, everything looks great. I don't see any issues at all, right? Not a single issue at all. Let's go back. Well, we might just give you some time back today. We've got one trade on. We've got a bunch of trades setting up, which means between now and Friday, and maybe Friday morning, one of the things we've talked about is, if I have a signal, do I have to wait till the end of the day? No. If I have a strong market like I believe we have now, I want to get in earlier than later, and I'm going to use the 1 hour to help. So my thought is, there's a very good chance that on Friday we have signals that are starting to trigger that we don't necessarily wait till the end of the day. I'd want to go ahead and get in as soon as the signal's valid. So we'll talk about looking at an hourly chart, and we'll see what that looks like. Because I'm optimistic about that. Let's go back. I'm going to get back out of this to a regular candle. I'm going to go back to the SPY. I'm going to go inside. And, look at that. A little bit of a sell-off. We said 436 by 436.70. And we sold off pretty hard. Right? We sold off pretty hard going into the last little bit with some recovery, but I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty good for the C's as we move into the close. Let's see. No, I don't see it changing. Let's go back one more time. Let's take a look at what the VIX did. So the market, at this point, our market is down 0.42. At 1.5%, we're down 0.42. What would I expect the VIX to be? Up 3%, 4%. Well, if it's only at 13, that's not, but maybe a half a point. Is that what it's doing? No. It's down more than half a point. So even though it's selling a little bit today, the institutions look like they are increasingly confident. And I'm definitely looking at the prospects for a calendar spread, as that is a strategy that does very, 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 very well in a low implied volatility environment, which is exactly what we have now. So, yeah, I feel like we're all somewhat on the same page. We're looking at the market showing strength. The strong stocks keep showing the same strong presence in the various bullish sectors of the market I'm looking for more of the same. Trading's gone well in the last couple of months. I'm looking forward to keep going well. Now, of course, I am absolutely, the more bullish I get, the more prone I am to looking for signals on the other side for hedge potential. But I am not seeing anything remotely like that now. So I'm bullish. I have bullish setups. We took a bullish trade. I'm looking for more. I'm looking for those trades to last. Like I said, 6 days, 7 days. That puts us squarely into next week. And then maybe we get out, wait for a consolidation. Maybe that consolidation is influenced by news. It's hard to know one way or the other. But we're in this together. So join me Friday morning. I'm anticipating trading signals. Barring some unforeseen circumstances, I think there's going to be some setups and some triggers that are developing and popping for us this week. All right, well, it's good to see everybody. Again, we're still a little light. I'd like to see the numbers pick back up so that I know people are trading. It's a good market. It's been profitable. I hope it's been profitable for you over the last few months. If not, let's change that. Get in front of it. I hope you all have a good rest of your Wednesday. Have a wonderful Thursday. I will see you Friday morning. And we'll see what on the watch list is possibly firing. Have a great few days. See you Friday. And as always, happy trading.